Hello, I'm Joshua of Milestone Play. I am a professional game master, and today we will be doing another test play of my TTRPG, Herald's Decree. We are deep in the combat testing phase, as there's a lot of mechanics with the combat, so I want to make sure that everything is really settled on the foundations, and then we can change a bunch of stuff later on. But we've been doing a good amount of testing, and we have some specific goals that we want to test today for our game. You can look at the timestamps down below to see where in the video we're doing testing versus where we might do some post-game discussion. But yeah, I will go through everything we're testing today, the things that we want to look at. But before then, so we don't get too deep into the weeds and players start asking questions and stuff without introducing them, we will introduce our players today. Baird, would you like to introduce yourself, anything interesting, and the type of character you'll be playing?
I'm Baird. I will be playing the pre-gen on the 1.9.4 character, Elias Turk, the champion weapons master. I think this is the first time this character might be played. That's my first time playing him.
This is the first time Elias Turk as the pre-gen will be being played. We've done some previous champion fightery type characters in the past, but yeah, this is the first time we'll be using it in this kind of setup. For the 1.9.4, those are all free on the Patreon, linked in the description below. And then I'll continue to be working on updates. There's 1.9.5 that's already up for paid patrons. And then hopefully, with the coming of the month, we will have 1.9.6 and a new character sheet design that is very similar to this one. It just reorganizes some of the information. So thank you for the lead in to some of that info, Barrett. But we have one other player. Druid's Flame, would you like to introduce yourself, anything interesting that you need to bring up, and the type of character you will be playing?
Hello, I'm Herald Swim. I'll be playing Salvador, goes by Hal for short, and he is a the Guardian archetype. So, Sanctified Faith is his pathway, which means he's kind of a shield wall, and he can do a little bit of helping out with stamina recovery and whatnot.
Cool, cool. Awesome. So, yeah, we're going to be doing primarily another combat today. I promise in the near future we'll be getting some more story exploration type stuff going, but just making sure this is a good foundation. So, some of the stuff that we're going to be testing this time that I've either been thinking about or kind of came up during our last test play is changing how tactical bonuses work. Tactical bonuses are when you are flanking in combat or when your enemy is prone on the ground, or if you're on a staircase fighting them and you're above them on the staircase and you have the higher ground sort of thing. So it used to be that tactical bonuses just gave you a +1 draw for damage. This is a card based, a playing card based RPG instead of dice. So just one more card of damage when you're drawing for damage. That seemed like it might be a lot. And while I do have these features called boons and banes, they weren't coming up a lot in combat. So feeling maybe the +1 draw on a tactical bonus was too much, maybe we can see how the boons and banes feel doing that. So with a boon, if you draw for damage and a card is a club, a 3-leaf clover, you have good luck on it, and with a boon, you get to draw again. It's essentially an exploding card mechanic. For every club, you draw again. If you have a bane, those count as zeros, and boons and banes add up and cancel each other out. So if you have 3 boons and 1 bane, that goes down to 2 boons. If you ever have more than 1 boon or more than 1 bane net, as opposed to it being clubs, it goes to the black suits. So you have a 50% chance of a card exploding. Very powerful if you manage to get a double boon in combat. Opposite that, double bane, a greater bane. That is going to be any black card counts for 0. So those are the times where like you have the optimal position in combat where you should be doing a ton of damage, or you should really not be doing any damage. And that's kind of how that plays out. So we'll be looking at tactical bonuses changing to more boons as opposed to flat out +1 draws. Doom is a meta currency that the game master of this game has. A lot of monster big special abilities are based off of Doom, but it is also the resource I have to spend to have my bad guys defend themselves and not just get slaughtered. So I can either keep them alive or I can use Doom to do cool stuff. So if I want to do a bunch of cool stuff, I have to let the players kill the bad guys. And so we've been doing a converting method for it, where anytime a player spends their extra action economy called momentum, that comes to me for Doom. The mechanics there was to intend players do cool stuff and then I do cool stuff. However, it also leads to this moment where players kind of themselves hesitate, thinking that like maybe they don't want to give me the Doom and maybe it'll be okay if they don't spend the momentum. And while that is a really cool story moment for like, oh, you hesitated and because of that, the bad guy got away, maybe it'd be more fun to just let you do cool stuff and me do cool stuff without having that moment of player conflict of whether they want to do the cool thing. So we'll be testing out some flat Doom generation for me. It may not be enough Doom generation. We may find that out. But I'm more concerned on how it feels to be the player for this test play than how it feels to be the director, the game master. And in the future, we might try another flat Doom generation where it's just more numbers to see if that makes it feel better on my side of the screen as well. Minion life tracking. So minions are a single stat block, and the number of players determines how many minions there are, but it's just you're using the Goblin Shiver stat block. Previously, we've been pooling it, and every time you hit a threshold, a goblin dies. We're going to see how it feels to be tracking independent minion health and then just bouncing from there. In terms of bouncing damage, though, we were having to deal last time with throwing goblins across the battlefield, exploding on a spike wall, and the possibility of that means other goblins die 50, 60 feet away. And that felt like it might be kind of weird. So we're going to be limiting how far minion bounce damage can go based off of the range of whatever attack did the damage. Trying to pull that back in to make a bit more sense in the narrative without having to creatively come up with why things are happening. So we're testing that out. Minions grouping up on a single target, very deadly. Maybe all the goblins surrounding a single individual shouldn't be able to do their super big attack. Maybe one of them should do the super big attack, and then the rest of them just throw little bits of bonus damage on top. Draw Steel does this. Dungeon World does this. There's a lot of games where you do the big attack for one enemy, and then the rest throw in additional 1, 2s, and 3s to stack on top of it. So we're going to test that out. And the last thing we're going to test out is a phased battle. So you do a big battle, a climactic moment happens, and then you do a second part to the battle. You've done it in video games all the time. You've probably done it in D&D. For this, our first test play had a single 3 stat block encounter. You did not see that test play. It was not put public on YouTube. It's available on the Patreon. It is unlisted. It was fun. A lot of bad things happened as we were figuring out some of the math of the game. That was a 3 stat block combat is supposed to be a very small combat. It's supposed to be the smallest threshold to actually do a battle. And it took forever. So we brought all of the stuff down. We brought it down to the point where all of the life down to the point where in our last test play, the obligatory Goblin Adventure, which is public on YouTube, we did 2 separate combats, and both of them were 4 stat block battles. So technically a larger battle that was smoother and went faster than what previously had happened with a 3. Well, for today's test play, we are going to do a phased battle. We're going to do a 3 stat block, a kind of a minimal threshold battle, a phase change, and then another 3 stat block battle. And so both of these stat blocks both of these battles should have an easier enemy milieu than either independent, but they're going to be back to back. And for the phase change of the battle, for this big climactic moment, directors, game masters can change part of the battlefield. Maybe the dragon comes out of the volcano. Now there's lava coming down now. There's that sort of change in environment that may happen. But additionally, particularly for this, when a phase change happens, 3 things occur. The heroes get back all of their stamina, essentially making it so, yes, something big happened and the stakes are changed, but the heroes have a small bonus to be able to continue fighting. So they will be getting all their stamina back at the phase change. They will be redrawing for initiative. So if there's a giant earthquake, it may shock some of them, others may get to react sooner to it. Um, how the battle has been going up to this point with the order of combatants will be mixed up with the redrawing for initiative. And then every character, every hero will get to move their speed to reposition in reaction to what's going on. 4, 5, 6, 7 squares, depending on the character stats. But as opposed to, okay, we took out the enemies over here, and then this big thing happens on the other side of the battlefield. Players will get to see that big thing happen, and then before the combat starts again, they'll have the opportunity to kind of reposition to approach that next phase how they want to. Essentially, I just got to do a new big thing to reset the scene. So as opposed to resetting the scene in the most drastically bad way for the players, they have a chance to move to kind of retake back control of how it's playing. So yeah, instead of the four stat block that the obligatory Goblin Adventure had, we're going to do a phased 3 and 3 where they won't get to the ability to take a respite between, but they will get their stamina back, the ability to move, and then we'll switch up the initiative order. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be testing out today, and I will move us to our battle screen. For our bone to pick test play combat, our heroes have found themselves in a village cemetery about 30 minutes off into the woods. This cemetery has been abandoned for quite a while, but there have been plenty of ghost stories about it, especially of the last 2 seasons. We are into spring, but through the autumn and through the winter, there have been notes from the yeomen, from the foragers, from those going out and checking in on the surrounding landscape, that they've heard more noises, and particularly they have seen that graves have been disturbed. As you lot make your way into the cemetery, you see the large mausoleum that has been set up to the upper left-hand side. There is a small storage shed that you've seen as you rounded the cemetery to the back end. And then there are 3 statues throughout this environment, 2 in the corners to the right-hand side, and then 1 at the end of this small walkway before a set of the tombstones and the overturned graves over to the left. So, as you lot approach this cemetery and make your way in, if there's anything that draws your attention or that you want to make note of, you certainly have time before things become more dire.
The mausoleum itself looks undisturbed.
As you look upon it, you see that uh, there is a small pile, like a line of stones, that is kind of arched to the side as if the door has been opening and closing.
I'm gonna go look over there. May I move freely?
Yes, you may move freely until I until I say otherwise. Sorry about that.
That's fine. I was just clarifying. Oh, I stepping on graves.
Yes, such a nice thing to do.
Al just kind of says, "Hey, there's a path, right?"
The thing you do in a cemetery. As you call him out, Elias, you get in front of where this is. You see that kind of arch in the stonework of like the disheveled ground that has not been taken care of, kind of arched to the side, kind of beveled up. And as you step there, not far from you, from one of the graves, you see the soil dishevel and begin to push upward. Arms begin to reveal, heads pull up. How, as you step forward, you see them all around begin to lift up as you hear this slopping slam from the back of the mausoleum, and what can only be described as 10 stacked decaying bodies to the point where they've melded together into clay kind of presses up against the corner and pulls itself into view, as we will reveal some threats and draw for initiative. So, as we have our monsters visible on the map, our skeletons beginning to pick themselves up, you lot having drawn for initiative. This is going to be a card draw plus your agility capacity. If you get a 10 plus, you act in hero phase 1. If you get a 6 to 9, you act in hero phase 2. And if you get a 5 or below, you act in hero phase 3. We will go ahead and add additional tokens for you over to the side, and you can put yourself based off of how good you've done in initiative. As they pull themselves up and aboard, go ahead, Hal. We'll be starting off this round with you. As a reminder, at the beginning of the round, you guys get all of your potential. You have 4 potential, 4 action points that you get to decide when and how to use based off of your abilities and your capacity to do different things like martial combat, defense, agility, all that. So, as these skeletons rise up and you have this giant rot gut abomination coming into view, what you want to do, Hal?
Well, I think since Elias is way over there, I'm going to try to get ourselves a little bit closer to each other and use 1 potential for agility, which can make me move 4. 3. And if I move here, that's not an opportunity, right?
I cannot see until you release. You will not be penalized for releasing, so I can see. Awesome. Yes, that is not an attack of opportunity. You'd have to go 1 more to the left to leave his reach. For me, to make an attack of opportunity, it does cost Doom at the beginning of this round. The flat number I'm getting is 3, so I could take an attack of opportunity if I wished.
All right. And then I am going to, just because there's a skeleton right there, I'm going to say Guardian Strike with 3 potential. And oh wait, no, that's martial. I can only do 2 potential. There we go.
You are an okay martial combatant. You're not the best.
But that does get me a defense momentum, so wanted to get that in there. And I'm Guardian Striking that guy right there. So that's going to draw 2. And Hal says, "Get back in the ground, heathen."
As you do so, I will call out that for Guardian Strike, that is giving an adjacent ally defense momentum.
Oh,
So
yes.
you would not. However, because you got
Elias is
a
close enough.
face card with your sword and board fighting style, you're really good at defensive fighting, and so that king gives you a defense momentum anyways.
It does.
And then something else you have that I want to make sure you got as a human, one of the things that you've given yourself is an adrenaline rush ability. When you draw for initiative, you gain 1 momentum of your core capacity, which for you is defense. So at this point, you should have 2 defense momentum just for striding towards your friend and smashing a skeleton into the ground, utterly destroying it, dropping it into a pile of bones.
Yes, because that sword and board is more of a hammer and a shield. So I just smashed him right back down into the ground.
As he descends to the ground, he is going to fall into a pile of bones. So whenever you take out a skeleton, they will drop down into this jumbled heap, and the square they're in becomes difficult terrain. This is not true for all creatures that you kill in combat, but skeletons, whether they are the rib rattler archers or the bone clacker soldiers, both of them have a feature of bone pile. So throughout this combat, as you take them out, they will be cluttering the ground with difficult terrain.
Okay. And then I have 1 potential left, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna put that into a martial momentum, if I can. Or is that not a thing?
That
I
is
forget.
not a thing for you. You've already
Okay.
spent 2 into martial, so you cannot spend
Correct.
another into that because you are at your capacity.
Okay. I can put it in a willpower though.
You definitely can. Yes. So
Okay.
As opposed to holding actions in this game, you can simply store your potential, your action points, to be used as momentum on future turns. Essentially, your readied actions just makes your next turn or future turns even better, as opposed to having to wait for specific triggers.
Okay. There we go.
Awesome. From there, we will continue on to Elias. You guys, your initiative much better than these slow rising enemies. Both of you get to go before any of my guys do. So, Elias, what you doing?
We're just gonna do a basic strike with a halberd upon the closest rib rattler there.
Cool, cool.
I've got to move my martial. Spending one, and we got. Oh, I got a 2.
As you swing in with your halberd on the rib rattler, what damage type are you swinging in for?
That would be. Oh, I get to pick, don't I?
With your halberd, you have piercing and slashing as options.
Let's do slashing.
As you slash in, it hits bone and deflects to the side. There's this gouge in the clavicle that really doesn't affect the rest of the skeleton. These skeletons have slash resistance 5. So without
Oh my
defending,
gosh.
any slashing weapon that attacks them does 5 less damage. So your 2 is just enough for you to pick up. You might have the wrong weapon for skeletons.
Hmm. Well, I will. I'm gonna put a. You know what? I'm going to end my turn and hold all my potential for now.
So you have 3 more potential that you're just not spending.
Well, I guess I mean that's a lot of defense, and I've only got 2 defense points that I could spend. Okay, let's attack again. Yeah, let's do it. So that's one more martial. There's a 10.
Okay. So with 10 incoming damage, he reduces it down by 5. He has 4 body. So you are going to manage to kill him. However, as you kill him, I'm going to spend one of my doom to use their defense style bone shards. When the skeleton takes damage, I can spend one doom to deal 3 undefendable piercing to all adjacent creatures. So as you swing through, knowing that a deft attack won't work and you just have to power through them, it shatters out but splinters as it does so. So you will take 3 undefendable piercing.
Taken.
Okay. With that change, you have a attack twice, a miss or an ineffectual hit, and a killing blow. Do you want to keep the rest of your stuff for defense, or would you like to do something else?
If I were to put one into if I were to put a momentum into agility, that wouldn't really benefit me all because I have no option to move beyond this point, right?
Correct. If you end your turn, you won't be able to
Yeah.
move, but on future turns, you'll have one free move action available to you without having to spend any of your attacking stuff.
Okay, well, I also
Can
forgot
I
that I just have to spend to move, so I'm gonna spend and move.
wait before you move? Can I ask a mechanics question that's kind of over table talk here?
Yeah.
Um, I have my hammer and I have my shield, and since in this game shields are weapons, could I, if one of us spends the action economy to do it, hand him my hammer and say that'll work better if he moves over to me?
Yes, you definitely can. Something that I forgot to bring up in our pregame discussion of some of the updates to the rules. I did switch shields a little bit. So shields now have the secondary property where
Oh,
face cards do -2 damage. It's not a lot, but essentially things like throwing daggers or shields where like they have a different use, but you can use them. They just do a little less damage on average. If you're cool with that, you could totally one of the two of you could, if you're next to each other, one of you could spend a skill to like switch out equipment and hand him the hammer if you're cool using your shield and doing a little less damage. But I want that to be an informed choice.
gotcha. Um, Would that make it so that if I draw a face card, I wouldn't get 10 because it wouldn't count for 10 damage?
You would get 8 instead of 10.
Okay, so that just wouldn't pop my sword and board fighting style.
Well,
Um,
your sword and board fighting style requires you to be wielding a shield. You'll be
yeah,
wielding a shield.
yes, but I can't do 10 damage,
It just
right?
it takes it from 10 down to 8. So
Yeah.
it
So
says
if
the
I'm
draw
drawing
counts for
2,
10,
so
but
if
the
I'm
minus
drawing
2,
2, then
yeah.
that would be 10 or just one card? I forget.
I'm sorry, please re-ask the question. I
Yeah.
was fumbling over you.
So if I'm drawing 2,
Mhm.
that would be total could be more than 10, but that wouldn't populate it because it's just a card 10, correct?
Yes, so if you draw 2 cards and both of them are face cards, they would both be doing 8 damage each. Pretty much any card you draw, you look at the value and you just minus 2 from it. For the face sorry,
Just face
it
cards.
just the face card. So if you draw a 10, as we, like, currently can see a 10, that's just a 10. But the face cards would be doing 8 damage, and you get a defense momentum.
Okay. And then hold the line I can do on myself, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Then I have other ways to get defense momentum. So yeah, if you come over here, you can spend a skill and um get my hammer.
He totally could. However, I will call out that his halberd has a slow to store property, so he has to spend
Mm.
2 skill if he wishes to put the halberd away and take your hammer, or he could just discard the halberd, leave it somewhere on the ground, and then take the hammer for 1.
I will move up to. I'll spend and move up to Hal. Drop the halberd. Spend another. I'm spending to grab it.
Yeah, if you are the one switching out your equipment, you spend 1 skill, and as long as you're discarding your halberd, you can just take it and you're good.
Cool. Well, I
Okay.
will do that. I'm out of potential. I'm next to Hal. Halberd on the ground. Hammer in hand. Is that just a range 1 strike?
Yes, the hammer is a range 1 melee weapon. It does blunt damage, and any of your maneuvers that just say melee weapon, you can do with them. The big thing you're giving up by using the hammer is your fighting style requires you to have a reach weapon,
Mhm.
and so you no longer are using a reach weapon. If you get out your sling, your battlefield control fighting style can be used with ranged weapons. So you don't get your special bonus on face cards until you are using your halberd or your sling. But fighting these skeletons, using the hammer might just be better.
Let's hope for that.
Okay. Well, that was a lot of mechanics talk for the first round as we like, okay, how do we deal with the situation? And those are things that we haven't had to really do in combat before. So that was a learning moment for all the players. And as I'm changing the rules, me having to look at it like, wait, did I change that? No, okay. Awesome. Well, I have a bunch of bad guys to go now, starting off with the Rib Rattler Battalion. So these are my skeletal archers, and they only have a reach of 6 with their bows. They're not very good with their bows. So a lot of them are going to have to move. I would say even here, he's not going to want to have to deal with the cover that the tombstones will give you. So a lot of my rib rattlers are going to move and fire. So this one will move up to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one will move up to here. This one will move up to here. And then this fella is going to stay right where he is. And then this guy, you know what? He's going to sneak around back because we can do that. So as all my rib rattlers move into position, 4 of them will be shooting at the 2 of you, and they will split their shots. So they cannot do their splintered shafts because they had to move. Getting minions to move is a good way to make them do less damage. And so they're all just going to make their regular range strikes. So the rib rattlers, I should not name the NPC monsters tongue twisters, each do 2 piercing. So for these shots, 2 on Elias, 2 on Hal, that would be 4 incoming damage to each of you. You may choose to independently defend if you have any defense. I believe, Elias, you are out of potential, so you will probably just be taking the 4, and then Hal, you can decide whether you want to take the 4 damage or not.
I forget how AC works because I have 14.
So you have to spend to defend. A regular block ability costs 1 defense, and it reduces incoming damage by your armor rating. Or if you have a bigger defense ability, you can do that. In this case, your armor rating of 14 is more than enough to absorb with a single block the 4 incoming damage.
I think I'm just gonna let it happen.
Okay. As stamina is something that more naturally comes back after battles and stuff. So as both of you take your 4s, is there any description that you want to give as these guys are doing their shots at you, as you are either blocking or dodging or just getting lucky? What does this moment look like as you guys get caught in the crossfire?
I think we were distracted while I was handing him the hammer and said, "No, you got to swing it like this, like just out to. Don't go over the top. Use your shoulder."
I swing it over. It's a practice swing, overextend, kind of lean forward. Arrow flies behind my head where it just was.
Very Robin Hood Men in Tights. Yes. With that, good fun and games. And then you begin to see in the far distance little plumes of soil getting kicked into the air as dark powers are erupting from the profaned ground. I have 1 rib rattler that did not move, that he stayed where he was. That rib rattler is going to spend 2 willpower to use grave soil. And grave soil simply gives me 1 more doom. So if there's a skeleton somewhere on the battlefield that you are just not worried about and like, oh, we can deal with it later, it can be generating me doom. So that is going to be the Rib Rattler activation, most of them moving, attacking a little bit, and then 1 enhancing into Grave Soil. At the next phase, we have no heroes going on phase 3, so we go into villain phase 3. And to start this up, I'm going to spend that doom I just got to use the ability of my bone clackers, their doom action called Clacking a March. Each skeleton in the battalion may shift 6 squares. They must end this move closer to an enemy than they started. So all of the more martial soldiers of the bone clackers, you hear this tremble and this horrible resonance of their bones and armor kind of bouncing off each other as they are going to get a free shift of 6. You cannot shift through difficult terrain, so they will have to begin to move around it. This one will shift 6 here. This one will get here. That one will get there. And that one will get there. And that is their procession of their clacking march. From there, we go to their turn proper. And with this turn proper, most of them will still have to spend 1 of their potential to move. So the first guy will move. They have a speed of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this guy will go 1, 2, 3. This game uses 3.5, 1, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 diagonals, And that combined with the difficult terrain is actually making it really difficult for them to get around you. Um, so that's actually really good for your positioning because the difficult terrain is preventing them from getting in close. This guy will enter the space with the difficult terrain. And then the final guy, unable to do anything, will use his action for grave soil. So he's going to pop me back up to 3 doom again. So those that have moved in, 3 of them had to move. One of them, the clacking march, got immediately to you. So they're going to go ahead and they're going to split their attacks. The 3 that had to march in are going to make their basic strikes on Elias. The bone clackers only do 1 slashing, so the 3 of them are going to do a total of 3 damage to you. Hal. I said Hal.
Yeah.
I meant Elias. That is not how that math played out. Hal's
I think
name
it's
is
the
over
halberd
top
is on
of your
there.
token, and it also says halberd on you. So I'm sorry.
I'm receiving 1 damage from 3 targets.
1 damage from 3 targets as a minion group. All their damage is pooled together for you to resist independently. So Elias, I can't believe we have Hal and halberd over top of the wrong character. Elias, what does that look like as they come in to attack?
I think I'm getting ready to start a melee onslaught, and I kind of get caught up in my head a bit because I'm worried about stepping on the bones that are in front of me, tripping over the gravestones, and they just stomped all over the bones in front of me and the gravestones, and I'm probably a little put off by it.
Fantastic. And then finally, actually attacking Hal. This is going to be the one that got to you with the bone, the clacking march. He is going to use his 2 martial maneuver, knuckle and joint. So knuckle and joint, he is going to slash in with a very rusted, old, serrated blade, and that's just going to be 1 draw of damage. So we will go ahead and drop that. And that is immediately a face card. How? As he is attacking you, that is going to be 10 incoming damage. And with its rusty serrations, it will also give you 2 ongoing slash, which means at the start of every round, you will automatically take 2 damage. So with 10 incoming and ongoing slash 2, do you have a response to that?
Well, I definitely don't want that rusty blade to go inside of me, so I'm going to defend. Um, if I defend all the damage, I still would have the rusty /2 thing.
Correct. For this
Okay.
attack, you would. There are some abilities that are you have to do damage for it to hit. In this case, this one will no matter what, it's gonna get there. Um,
Okay. Then I will
yeah.
do the cautious defender with my momentum. So reduce that by half, I guess.
Okay. So that'll just be ongoing 1.
Wait. Reduce the value of the negative condition that comes in with this attack by half the potential spent on the maneuver.
So if you're
So
only spending 2 to defend, you only reduce the condition by 1.
gotcha.
Okay.
So I have 1 slashing. That will do what to me then?
So your armor rating is going to reduce the 10 damage to 0. At the start of every round, you will take 1 slashing damage at the start of the round because of your ongoing rusty blades that have gotten caught in your armor that are just like jostling around. You can spend willpower to do the overcome later on if you want to get rid of that ticking damage. But for the moment, you are stuck with that 1 that you couldn't prevent from happening.
Okay.
But that's the only thing that gets with you. Like you block most of it. You just get some broken flecks of rusted blade that get caught up in your armor that until you kind of like knock them free, they'll continue to jostle around. Okay. That is all of the Bone Clacker Battalion. And I have 1 last bad guy to go this turn. That being the Rot Gut Abomination. He has 4 potential. but he only has 1 agility, which means he can only use 1 of those to move. As he sees everything lining up in the east, he will actually begin moving to the west. When he moves 8 as you guys hear the slopping of him turning over himself in his movement. So he'll go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be 5, 6 as he squeezes through. 7, 8. As you lot hear a crunching of the gardener's shed in the back as this thing bumbles through it. And as he is not able to get to you, he cannot do any of his melee stuff. You are currently out of sight of him to do any ranged attacks. So that's going to be his entire turn. He is a big, scary brute, but if he can't get to you, he is more of a looming threat. That will be the end of the round. As we go to the beginning of the next round, Hal, you will take your 1 ongoing damage from the Rusty Serrations. So you can take that 1 damage. From there, you guys get all of your potential back, where you may decide how you want to use it. And as this is the beginning of the second round, every round beyond the first, you get 1 momentum of your core capacity. So Elias, I believe your core capacity is martial, and then Hal, yours is defense. So you guys are just better at doing the thing your character's supposed to do. As you gain those resources, Hal, you get to start us off. You have handed over a hammer to your companion. You hear this big slushing rot gut abomination coming around the backside of the shed, and you have a host of skeletons around you.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
Also, I got 3 more doom at the start of the round, so call that out as something important as well.
Well, then we are just gonna probably Guardian strike that guy with my shield.
Okay.
2 potential there.
You are now adjacent to an ally, which means your Guardian Strike will give 1 defense momentum to Elias.
Yes. And
Thank you.
can you remove your jack, please? Thank you.
just to keep everything clean and fresh.
Yeah. That's gonna be 11 of bashing into that that guy right there.
Fantastic. 11 actually goes up to 16 as the Bonecracker skeletons have vulnerability to blunt 5. So anytime you hit them with a single point of blunt damage, they take 5 more. And that is going to be enough to wipe out the guy in front of you. And then the guy just south of you is within reach, and you can bounce the excess damage to kill him as well. However,
I just kind of took my shield and slammed him into the other guy.
you did, which means both of you are in the splash zone. I'm going to spend 2 doom to activate their bone shards, and you guys are going to get hit by a total of 6 undefendable piercing as they shatter all through the area. And they're going to put difficult terrain wherever they are. The space with 2 skeletons is not double difficult terrain. There just happens to be 2 skeletons worth of bone pile there.
We're taking 6 each.
6 each, yes, since both of you are within 1 square of both of them that died.
Whoops. I am going to spend my momentum and willpower to get rid of that slashing thing, because I don't want that to happen anymore.
Yeah, as you overcome that condition.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna look over at Elias, and I'm gonna say, "We got this. Hold the line." So you're gonna get 10 stamina and 1 defense momentum.
Wow.
Elias, I think you're capped out on defense momentum because your guardian took his turn next to you.
Yeah, that's I got 2 there, got back up to 10 out of 10 stamina. Did you just use, like, all of your points and everything?
That was just my potential. It's fine.
Alright.
Okay.
uh, but yeah, hold the line. We got this. Your turn.
Yeah. After Hal's turn, there is a villain turn, and on my villain phase, I can use doom actions even if it's not a creature's turn. And so I will go ahead and spend one of my doom. And I'm going to activate the Rib Rattler's special feature, Hollow Wind Rattle. A terrifying wind moans through the battalion. All enemies that are within 4 squares of a rib rattler are affected, and adjacent creatures have a bane. None of you are adjacent to a rib rattler, but you are both within at least 4 squares of at least one of these creatures. So I need both of you to make a basic discipline test as fear attempts to overwhelm you.
That's that new one, right?
That's the new one. Yes, that's the discipline that has been added in.
Okay. So if I don't have anything, it's a 0, correct?
Yes, it's a +0. You still get to draw a card. I'm doing like a lot
6.
of emotive hand gestures throughout all this, forgetting that I moved the recording from seeing me to just full screen on the map. So that is a 6 for Elias and a 2 for Hal. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. As this fear begins to overtake you, that is going to give Elias hindered 1, and that is going to give Hal hindered 3. The way the hindered condition works, when you get your potential at the start of the round, if you're hindered, you gain 1 less. So currently, you guys have been getting 4 potential. If you start the round with the hindered condition, you instead only gain 3. So it's something that the sooner you get rid of it, the better. But because we've not started the round yet, Elias, before your turn, you don't lose any potential because you haven't started the turn. That's not how hindered works. So you have the ability to start to deal with this problem before it really starts to affect you. But that's kind of the mechanics. This is coming from the hollow wind rattle of the rib rattlers, where that's part of where they get their name. Elias, we now go on to hero phase 2, and it is your go as you are partially letting this fear well up in you. You have a hammer in your hand. You have been shattered by bone shards, and there are enemies to the south.
So just to clarify, I have 1 turn of this, and he has 3 turns of this?
No, hinder stays around until you get rid of it. So it would take you would need to overcome the negative condition.
Okay, so he's starting his turn with 1 potential then. Is that what that means?
No, he is starting his turn with 3. Hindered only ever takes away 1 of your potentials. It's just how hard it is to overcome the
Okay,
condition.
I
Yeah,
understand
so this is the closest thing I have to stun or paralyze is you do 1 less thing. You do 3 instead of 4. It degrades you a little bit, but you still get the majority of your turn.
Well, I was gonna take that hold the line, and I was gonna ready up. I readied up just a half second too late. I still am gonna do that, though. I'm gonna spend 1 skill, gain protected 1.
Okay. And protected can be used, it can just be spent whenever a negative condition approaches you, and you can just spend that instead of getting 1 rank of that negative condition.
Yep. And then I don't need to persevere now because he just got all my stamina. So I'm gonna start working on the rest of these skeletons. And we will do here we go. Bingo bango. I'm gonna spend 1 potential and 1 momentum into Marshall, and I'm gonna fight through it. I get a draw 2 and a reduce a negative condition on me by 1. So I'm gonna target the one directly south of me.
Okay. Fight through it is probably one of my favorite attacks I've come up with as like a basic attack, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone use it.
So that's a total of 15. Plus vulnerability would be 20 damage.
Yes, as you are just going to be exploding them, bashing them down, piles of armor and bones collapse between as you take both of them out easily.
Cool. And then I'm going to spend, let's do one. I'm going to spend into one willpower, and I will do an overcome on Hal because he's next to me.
How do you help shake him out? Like you are fighting through the rib rattling hollow rib cage effect on you, and you're helping him begin to work through it. What is that like?
I feel like maybe he, like, right as he was finishing his hold the line, the whistling wind started coming through and his voice trailed off. And I looked at him like, no, we got to hold the line, buddy.
Fantastic. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put a marshal into momentum,
Okay.
and that'll be all of my potential. But I have 2 defense momentum if I need it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that, we will go to our Rib Rattler Battalion. The one that previously was messing with the grave stuff is now going to move in. So he's going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think I'm just going to have him fully move in. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, he is just fully moving in. And the others that were already in their position are each going to be taking their splintered shaft shots. So each of them, we're going to split 2 and 2 again. And one of them is each going to get to do their splinter shaft shot. And then every doubled up minion is just going to get a +2 damage on top. So, Hal, we will attack you first for draw 1 +2. Hal, this is a bad time. That is going to be 12 incoming damage. And for the splinter shaft shot, they're going to use their ribcage shot. And ribcage shot earns +1 draw and damages the rib rattler for one hit point. As essentially they are pulling out their own ribs to shoot you more. So, Hal, that is going to be a total of 16, 17, 18 incoming damage.
Well, I have a defense momentum, so definitely going to use that. Down to 14 or down to 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you only take 4 damage from what was supposed to be a lethal shot. And then the attack on Elias. This once again is going to be a draw 1 card, and for the additional minion, +2 damage. And that's only coming in for 5.
Okay. I'll take it.
Okay. And then we'll go ahead and move our next fella in as we go end of villain phase 2. No heroes for 3. So villain phase 3, our bone clacker battalion is down to a single bone clacker. So he is going to move up. We'll pull him to the top so it's easier to see him. And he's just going to make a free strike on Hal. That strike is for 1 slashing because he had to move.
1 slashing, huh?
Yeah.
He's going to take some body damage on me.
Oh, no.
Hal going to be mad. Hal's going to dreadnought his way through him.
Yeah. So for your defense style as a dreadnought, when you actually take damage to your body, whether it's a berserk, whether it's focus, however you want to put it, you get to move up to your speed. And for every enemy you move through, which you can move through, they automatically take 5 damage.
Now, enemies are difficult terrain, so difficult terrain would be half my movement speed, correct? Or like
Um,
2 squares?
so enemies are not difficult terrain. You're thinking draw steel. In this game, you
No.
cannot move through enemies.
Okay.
Dreadnought allows you to do so. So you move 2 squares forward. As you go through, you will be doing 5 damage. That will kill that bone clacker. And
Can
I
I
will go
move
ahead and
3
spend.
then?
Hmm?
Can I move 3? Because you said I could move 4.
You
Well,
can,
you've moved your movement speed, but
yeah, you can move up to your movement speed. As you move through him, I will spend a 1 doom to do another bone shard explosion. So both Elias and Hal, you'll be taking 3 undefendable damage. Hey, Hal, I have not planned for this, but I think the way this would work is the moment you trigger the next damage, I think it restarts the count on your dreadnought if you choose to. I should have thought about this better. I think we found where this ability is really powerful if you want to continue counting to 6, starting at 0. So that would put you at 1.
well, so if I had moved my speed, right, like the full speed would have been here,
So it would have, but the
but there was
damage
the
triggers when you
okay,
enter his space,
okay.
I think. Once again, we have never had this ability be so good, so this is a really good test playing moment. Um, I think I want to look at the exact phrasing of how I phrased it. That way, I know if it needs to be changed for the future. You may pass through enemy squares, but must end in an empty space. For every
Mhm.
square you pass through, deal 5 undefendable physical damage to the occupying target. I need to go back and look at Dreadnought and make it very specific of how this happens for when this happens. I think my intention is when you move into their space, you do the damage. It's not like you move and then there's a bunch of explosions behind you. So the way I want to rule this now as we are test playing it is you move in, it explodes, you take more damage, and then you can move another 4 starting from the location that you took the damage. Does that make sense? I ask earnestly.
It does, I think. So that would put me at 2 square movements currently.
And you could go through another skeleton if you wanted.
Wouldn't this diagonal be 2 squares?
Diagonals are only 2 on the second diagonal. You count
Oh,
diagonals 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you wouldn't be
okay.
able to
So I'd
double
go there
diagonal.
and then there.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
Would you like to?
Yeah. Yeah, let's
Okay.
do that.
So after such a long time of hold the line, hold the line. No, I told you to, like, come on, Hal. We gotta keep.
I am the line.
I made a line.
I made a line. Okay. I
You
that
want to
was
do a
that was
bone
all a
shard again?
reaction to the bone clacker's turn. He came in, hit you for 1 damage, and then this is the consequences of his actions. That's my last bone clacker. But I have another friend. And that
But
other friend. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, does he want to explode when he dies?
No, I think I'm going to keep those 2 doomed for something else. I think that is where the dreadnought doesn't become overly powerful because there's not a whole lot of like you're not always just going to trigger a train of them happening. But I also couldn't, like there's only going to be so many times both of you are against next to a skeleton for me to explode on both of you. So I'm not upset with you getting the double dreadnought. I'm really okay with that. We will continue on to our Rotgut Abomination. And our Rotgut Abomination, once again, has to move. He can only move once, but when he does so, he does get to move He does get to move 8 as he slips and slides, but he doesn't really have much ability to redirect if he needs to move more. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 for moving through an ally, 5, 6 for moving through an ally. That might be what you were thinking, Hal, of moving through allies is difficult terrain.
Yeah.
And then he will end here. And as he gets here, that's 7. I don't want to move him any further. I think instead, it's really, really good that Hal got out of dodge when he did, because I have some doom to spend. He is going to use 2 martial. He's going to use 3 martial. So he's used 1 potential to move. He'll dump the other 3 into martial, as he is going to use his ranged ability called Expectoration, where he is going to vomit out a bunch of the rot from inside him, Rot Gut Abomination. So that's going to be draw 2. And I'm also going to spend my 2 doom to use Curdled Vomit. Expectoration, targets of Expectoration also gain ongoing toxin equal to the number of doom I spend. So as he vomits out a 2x2 square, splattering across the ground, hitting Elias, as Hal is getting out of dodge, let's go ahead and draw that. That is going to be 10 undefendable damage. The undefendable is from the ace. So, Elias, that is 10 undefendable damage, and you are going to gain ongoing damage toxin 2. So at the start of every round, you'll be taking 2 toxin damage. After so
Would my
many times playing a dwarf that was resistant to toxin, you switch to playing the human build, and now you get hit by toxin damage.
would the protect do anything for that?
Yeah, you could spend protected to knock that down to 1.
Let's do that.
As you readied yourself up and now get hit by Curdled Vomit, how did you ready up and protect yourself?
I think I was like I turned I was really focused on Hal. So none of it got in my face because I was looking the other way.
It's a really big hammer.
So just big hammer.
Okay.
But I'm pretty beat up.
And you have no defense left to... Oh, you can't because it's ace undefendable. How mean of me. Yeah, that's going to be the end of the round. As we go to the start of the next round, I will gain 3 doom. Our ongoing damage will tick for 1 point of damage on Elias. Elias, you are going to gain all 4 of your potential. However, Hal, in your hindered state, you still hear the shrill shriek of the wind through the bones, of that unnatural appeal to your psyche. You will only gain 3 potential this round.
Okay.
Hal, it is your go.
Melee strike is just one potential point, and you draw 1, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And then as you are using a range 1 weapon, we've seen that you guys can easily do enough damage to kill multiple minions if you can reach them. So if you were to want to start like just trying to knock down some of these archers, moving would help you with that kind of that new range limitation that we have for minions.
Okay. Yeah, I think I can do 1 potential into agility. And then I can move up to 4, but I can move and attack and move, right?
Correct. You can
Okay.
when you spend stuff for agility, you earn a number of squares of movement, and then you can spend those squares however you want.
Okay. So I'm going to use 1 martial to hit that guy right there with my shield.
Okay.
Big money, no whammies. So that gives 10, or just
Well, Shield is blunt. They have
Yeah.
they have vulnerability to blunt, so that 5 goes up to 10. And that's enough to take out both of them as they drop into bone piles.
All right. First diagonal is 1 square.
Correct.
Okay. So that's 2 movement. Second potential. Ooh, wait, hold on. I only have 1 left. Yeah, I think the better option right now is to just hit that guy.
Yeah, just take out enemies from the battle
Yeah.
space. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
so I'm gonna hit him. My head's not thinking clearly, so that's 8 plus 5.
8 plus
Or
5 is
8 plus
13, and you still get your you still get your defense momentum from your, it says sword and board, but really we just care about having the shield, so more than
Since it
enough.
was the draw did 8, but 13, that's over 10. Haha, gotcha. So I got my defense momentum in there, and then I am all out of potential. I'm gonna turn over to Elias and say, "The line's over here now."
Fantastic. I will not be activating any Doom abilities on Villain Phase 1, so we'll continue on to Elias. Elias, you are pretty haggard from getting swarmed.
Yes. Was that Hal just yelling at me, or was that Hal boosting me?
No, that was just Hal yelling at you.
Okay. So now I have a predicament.
Uh-huh.
I cannot pick up my halberd because it costs 2 skill and I only have 1 available.
Okay, so when you need 2 skill to do something and you only have 1 available, that represents your character needing more time to do it. So you would need to put 1
Do
skill
it
into
next
momentum
turn.
now and do it next turn. However, for the slow to stow thing, I may need to look at this. I'll make a note of it as well. But the intention is if you have it in hand and you want to like do the Donatello, rope it onto your back and draw something else, it costs 2. If
Hmm.
it's sitting there to the side, you can go ahead and just spend 1 to drop the hammer and pick up the halberd. It's more about stowing it away and like having it with you if you run somewhere else on the battlefield. But if you've discarded it to the side and then pick it back up with a skill, that'll only take 1.
All right. And you said you're reformatting like the sheets overall, so I think I'm maybe expecting like more. I think you said there's more space coming on the sheets.
Yes, there's more space for equipment
We'll have.
information. And when I was making these pre-gens, like I made the sheets, they looked beautiful. Like, oh, this has everything I need. And then trying to put all of like the mechanical stuff you need to know for weapons of like the different
Yeah.
types, I had to start like cutting words. So that'll hopefully not be an issue on the sheets that'll be available at the first Saturday of June.
Right. Does it look like this creature would be easier to hit with a slashing weapon? Like it's fleshy? Or is it just
Without
kind
giving
of
you
all over?
mechanical information, just narratively, yeah, it's real fleshy.
Okay.
Hey, you be gentle with Stormcall when you put it down. Okay, you don't throw it down.
Oh no, we're just gonna do this. I'm going in for a big one, and if I get hit back real hard, maybe we shouldn't have been in a haunted graveyard. Um, I will. Oh no, you have to spend to move.
You have to spend to move.
Yeah, I
However,
have.
your halberd should be a reach weapon, so it should have reach too.
Yeah, yeah. Um. Ooh, no, I can do this. I'm going to beginning my turn. I'm going to measured steps,
Okay. Measured
and I
steps
will shift.
being a weapon master ability.
Yeah, so I can cut my speed in half, but then I can shift when I before or after I attack. And I'm going to use a martial maneuver, fight through it to get rid of that poison tick. For 2, I'm gonna spend my 2 momentum back down to 0 momentum, and I'm gonna dump 3 more potential into it. This will be a draw 5. With a blunt weapon that is not my fighting style, so I won't get the slide, but going in for the attack and the, damage resist on the ongoing. How's that undefendable feel now?
Oh crap! Oh no! Oh no! This is so bad. Okay,
Nice.
so you chose to use the hammer instead of using
Yes.
slashing. Not only do I not get this creature's the
Splash
ability to
damage?
defend, so this thing has vulnerability to slashing. So you're not getting that by using the hammer. However, I don't get it. It's defense style, which I'll just tell you now because I want you to know. If the rot gut takes 10 or more slashing damage, that includes the vulnerable, so it's very easy to trigger this. Reduce the damage by 10, and a limb is severed off to act on its own. So you have come in, you have decided not to do slashing, which is slightly less damage, but you are also not chopping this thing apart. That is what? 10, 20,
37?
36, 37 undefendable.
Square in the noggin.
This thing has 20 stamina. And it has 20 body. This thing has been this looming threat. You saw at the beginning, you heard it crunching around. It finally came in, it vomited all over you. What is this moment like as you almost annihilate it with a single prepared blow?
I mean, it's a hammer. That thing's got a big forehead. And it was just bent down to vomit on me. It's right there.
Okay. Guys, last time in the discussion we talked about, I wonder what it's like if you actually have like a champion in the combat. Like you will be resisting less damage, but we'll probably kill things faster, right? The answer is yes. Is
So
that
that is reliant on me having to hire Marshall than like Hal has been doing the past few sessions. And like I'm starting I'm just getting more draws on weapon attacks essentially.
yeah, you're getting more draws and weapon attacks because your martial score is bigger, but also you are self-generating martial momentum and rounds 2, 3, 4, 5. So not only are you able to do bigger draws, but you get the resources to do more attack draws as well.
There it is.
Yeah. Yeah, so you step in, attack for this massive blow. Anything else, man?
I'm kind of just eyeing it warily to fend off a swipe that's coming.
Do you get a shift after that?
No, I used it to move in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because doing so, he did not need to spend anything into agility. He just got a free move in to be able to do a big attack. Essentially, instead of having to spend one to move in and attack, or spend one to pick up his halberd and attack at reach, his measured steps just allowed him no resources to just move in and wreck shop.
Nice.
Is that the end of your turn,
Elias, I
Elias?
told you
Oh.
Stormcaller's great.
It's a good hammer. Yeah, that'll do it.
If you put it down gently. Who said I'm putting it down? I guess this thing's head'll cushion the blow. Well, that'll go on to the rib rattlers. I have one rib rattler left. And my rib rattler, let's go ahead. He cannot attack Elias because the cover that the rock gut gives is enough to just absorb. So he will have to move. And you know what? No matter what, the cover from the tombstones is not enough either. So he'll just move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he will do a grave soil as you see more explosions of dirt up out of the ground of rich black soil. That'll take me up to 4 doom, and that is the Rib Rattler's turn. We have no bone clackers, so we go straight to the Rot Gut Abomination. And hey, Elias, do you have any any defense left?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I do.
because you're gonna need it. Um, he's gonna use his slopping slam, and he's going to improve it up to spending 3 martial. So that is going to be a draw 3 on his slopping slam, as he, very much like a Batman Clayface villain, but it's rotting flesh instead. Oh no! Oh no! I made a bad choice. I'm sorry, guys. I have accidentally clicked on Druid Flame's card, and I'm now currently moving it around on the screen.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how to undo this.
I don't see it. Oh, I see it too now.
Well, hey, guess what?
I don't have to worry about a 2 of diamonds coming out.
I
guess.
have taken a 2 of diamonds from you. If that was a high card, we would give it to you with the benefit of the doubt, but I screwed up, and you don't have a 2 of diamonds anymore. The draw 3 that the Rot Gut is swinging down with is coming in for 13 damage. 13 blunt.
I can defend.
You can defend.
I am gonna unfortunately have to use both of my defense momentum, because even that one over point is 20% of my current hit points. So we're gonna.
Well, as you
So
over defend, what does that look like?
I think it's a combination of using the hammer that might still be slightly implanted to maneuver the beast, but also like the armor's taken quite a bit of the glancing on the rest.
Cool, cool. Well, that's going to be 3 of his potential out of the 4 he has. He does not need to move. He has no negative conditions to overcome. So he actually is going to waste one of them. It happens sometimes with bad guy stat blocks. He just doesn't need to use it. So that'll be the end of the round. We go back up to the top. With that, Elias, you have no conditions, so you just gain your 4 potential and your 1 martial momentum. Hal, you are still hindered, so you only gain 3 potential and your 1 defense momentum.
Well, Hal is going to yell over to Elias, "Good job. Keep holding that line." And then he's going to get 10 stamina. And a defense momentum.
The defense momentum that far away too.
From 6, right? 1, 2,
cool.
3, 4, 5.
Yes. Yeah. So a lot of the willpower abilities of maneuvers are like, hey, just get 10 stamina and also get this type of momentum. So you could make them better at defending, better at attacking, epiphanies for magic. And our guardian is really good at just encouraging you not to stop fighting.
And then he's gonna kind of slap himself a little bit and use his last potential to overcome a little bit of that stun, or what it's called.
The hindered.
Yeah, the hindered. He's going to overcome a little bit of that hindered.
Okay. Slowly working it down.
And that will be the end of his turn.
Okay. From there, I have no abilities I wish to use for villain phase 1. So we go on to Elias at hero phase 2.
All right, we're going to start with a. Let's do just a normal draw 2 strike. I'm going to spend my 1 momentum and 1 potential.
When you say a regular draw 2 strike, what do you mean?
Oh, can I?
So anything.
And you cannot improve strikes.
Yeah. Yeah. So strikes are just draw
Okay.
one, draw one, draw one. So what's good about that is you can't add them together to overcome resistances and armor ratings and stuff, but it requires me to independently defend every attack.
I understand. Well, let's do it that way because I've never done it that way before. I will spend my one momentum first. Do a strike.
Cool, cool. And then
Uh,
depending on what your damage is, will determine whether I am able to defend it, since I would like to keep my rot gut for another turn.
that's a 5.
He is going to throw his arms up in front of him to defend. So I will spend one doom as you slap through, cascade some bones to the ground, but the whole core of it remains.
All right, let's do it again.
And I'll let you know as long as I know. Okay. Well, that's 10. And I can. I defend. I reduce it
You got,
by 8. I take 2 damage. And I am at 1 body.
and then I can do it again.
If you have another marshal, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just spending potential at this point. I put 2 potential in. This is my second potential in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 5.
And he can no longer defend against you. He only has 2 defense, so there's only so many times I can defend from your strikes.
Okay.
And that'll get the kill. How would you like to kill him?
Right. Like he's put his hands up and I'm just like busting off fingers. And then he goes to try to block it with like his 2 stumpies and
Uh-huh.
it slides through and hits him in the jaw.
It's like working through a sourdough starter.
Oh no. And what I will also do, I will spend 2 willpower to give I will spend 2 out of 2 max willpower out of my potential to hit a perseverance on Hal.
Oh, nice.
Yelling over, hey, we're almost done. So you gain 10 stamina and 1 willpower momentum.
Nice.
Fantastic. And,
That's all my economy.
and the great thing about willpower momentum is, unless you are a willpower person, which Hal is, so he could use it for other stuff, it's also really good to just be able to help encourage them to get over negative conditions. That's great. So from there, that's the end of your turn. I have a single rib rattler left. And that rib rattler, unable to get any good shots with all of the tombstones in the way, is going to move through the tombstones. And then he's going to make a mighty bow shot at Elias. Elias, that's just a ranged free strike. That's just going to do 2 damage.
Go defend.
Okay, you defend. You just snap the arrow to the side. You take nothing. With that, we continue on to the end of the round. I gained 3 doom. That is not gaining 3 doom. I forgot the doom number I was at. I think I was at 5. I'm back
Yep.
up
I think
to
we're at
8.
6.
I was at 6. I'm up to 9. That's what happens when I hit the wrong button. That's why I like having physical tokens in front of me. Elias, you have 4 potential. Hal, you still have 3. You're almost through the hindered. And both of you gain your core capacity momentums of a marshal on Elias and a defense on Hal. And Hal, there's a skeleton not that far away.
Hmm. Since I have 3 momentum in my defense right now, I can't gain another one, correct?
Correct. You're at
Okay.
your capacity.
That's what I thought. So I am going to use that willpower momentum to overcome that
That hinder.
that hinder. And then I'm going to spend 1 point of agility. Move up here first. And then I'm gonna look over at that skeleton and say, wrong playground, and use forceful blows with my last 2 potential into my our marshal and draw 2 and push him with that shield 2 into
Into the tombstones.
into the tombstones.
Okay. I will spend a doom. You know what? I won't. It's gonna mean nothing. It'll immediately mean nothing. So I'm gonna save that doom as you shatter him down. As there's difficult terrain of just bone piles and bone piles separating Elias and Hal. Hal, anything else on your turn?
Well, after he smashes into that, he's going to look around and say, "Got all of them?"
As you say, is that all of them? You hear a creak of a door as we hit the trigger for the phase change. Elias, you see the mausoleum door creak open, and inside there's a couple crypts. There is an army of more bone clackers, and standing before, you see a gaunt woman with a bone parasol. Why'd you have to get in my way? So we'll go ahead and take a moment to set up the next map, and then we will go through the phase change. So you lot, not now, but you will be redrawing initiative. You will be regaining stamina if you are missing any stamina, and you will get to move your move, difficult terrain still being counted, to reposition based off of this new information. So we will be right back. Okay, so as we go into phase 2 of our battle, we have our necromancer responsible for the death here, with another bone clacker battalion in the crypt with them. As they open it up, this crypt is 4x4. The doors are only the 2 squares in the center. So those are the squares you have to go through. And for me, I don't like cutting the corner going through like walls and stuff. So you do have to go straight through the door and then you can start doing diagonals. As we go through this phase change, you lot are going to keep your current body, keep your current momentum, all that stuff you keep from where you currently were. If you had any negative conditions, but you don't, you'd keep negative conditions, positive conditions. Hal, you are down some stamina. So with the phase change, you will get to pop up that stamina. And as you lot see this new environment, you are going to get to move your character's speed. So that might be 4 squares, that might be 6 squares, 5 squares. So you lot can move your speed, and you will also be redrawing initiative to see how much this takes you off guard. And then like you guys keep all those things. I keep the doom I previously had. So I have gotten a small stockpile of doom that I have collected over the first phase, which I will quickly be spending with the necromancer. So when you are ready, you may move and you may redraw your initiative.
So our momentum carries through.
Your momentum carries. Yes, it does. That is the wordplay and the mechanics of this game. Every time, like, hey, like, could I save more momentum? And it's like, no, you're at capacity. They're called capacities. There's wordplay in the mechanics.
And then my agility is 4. So does that get me here because difficult terrain here?
Correct. So if you are just trying to close the distance and you have a speed of 4, you could move up to that location. As you're charging and you're not trying to make space, you're just trying to close in.
Well, that's not Elias wanted to create a new line, so I'm just going to come up there with him.
Okay. So as you get in position, feel free and redo your draw. Okay.
What does 5 put me at?
We are currently adding your agility, so hopefully you should be at a 6.
Yes.
Okay, so that'll put you at hero phase 2. You are barely in 2. Ooh, so now that you guys are in the same initiative phase, you lot can intersperse your turns however you want. Spend a little here. Okay, now you do your thing. Okay, now I'm going to do this. You guys on the same hero phase, you can intersperse however you want. That's the benefit of using an agility to try to redraw your initiative during the middle of combat, is trying to get on the same turn as allies to be able to better take advantage of the stuff I already do with my minions, of like moving exactly where they're best put. But yeah, as you lot begin to move in, closing in, as this necromancer is disdainful at you, you guys each gain your potential back. So you guys now both get 4, as Hal, you have finally gotten through your hindered condition. You guys both gain your momentum, if you're able to gain any more momentum. And I gain another 3 doom, putting me up to 12. Don't worry, I'll use it. Yeah. With that, no one goes in hero phase 1, so the necromancer will get to go first. And as she looks upon you, looks upon what you have wrought, she is going to begin to move forward. Well, now, come out and play. And she is going to spend 1 to begin to move. Her speed is only 5, so she will move here, here, and then, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would trigger attacks of opportunity from both of you. Now, it does take 1 martial for you to make an attack of opportunity, but it is automatically undefendable. Would either of you like to make an attack of opportunity for 1 martial?
Yes,
Sure.
please. Is this just
Yeah,
a strike?
This is just, yeah, it's essentially a strike.
we both gonna hit her. He's got that hammer. I got that shield.
Worst time for an ace.
Yes, worst time for an ace because it wasn't adding to anything, but that'll be 3 damage to her. That's not 3 damage. That's taking her down to 3. So her stamina, as she kind of like ducks underneath the blows. Yes, yes, come on, let's play, let's play. I said, everybody, let's play. And she is going to use Dance Macabre. She will spend Doom to raise the bone piles of those already defeated. So, we are going to raise this fella, and I'm going to put a little red little skull on him. Bone piles that have been raised via Dance Macabre do not drop bone piles themselves, so that'll help us keep track of that. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That seems good for now. So as she urges everyone to come out and play, that's going to take up 9 of my doom.
Oh my gosh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. That's 9 of my doom as she urges them all to come out and play. She is then going to use, that was just a doom ability. That didn't cost any of her turn. She is then going to use her ability called Army of the Dead, which costs 1 Arcana, and it allows all minions under the Necromancer's control to make a free strike. So, Hal, you have 2 bone clackers next to you. They both swing at you for a total of 1 slashing, 1 slashing, 2 slashing. And then the archers do not have a good line of shot due to the cover that their companions are providing. So, you know what? She's got more Arcana. She's going to do that 2 more times. So that's going to be another 4 damage to you, Hal. And then Elias, you have 1 guy adjacent to you. So that's just going to be a total of 3 damage. So she has zigzagged by you, gone through the tombstones, raised all of these dead back up, and then used her magic to, instead of attacking herself, use the Army of the Dead to attack 3 times. And that is going to be her activation. From there, we go to both of you. Please be as strategic as you want, talk back and forth, make suggestions, or, hey, can I just take my turn? Cool, I'm done. Now you go.
You want the guys inside?
I feel like if we split up on swarms, we're gonna both get swarmed.
Um,
But
I
I
can do a forceful blows on at least this one or this one, and that pushes them 2 squares. So that 2 squares would push this guy into that, and he couldn't move anymore because he's there. So that would cause issues.
wait,
Or I can take
we're
this guy
doing
into
this
that.
together. I do want to do my measured steps, so I do need to activate that at the beginning
Yeah.
before both of us do anything.
Awesome. Cool. So you are measured stepping. Awesome.
Well, I was just thinking I could probably take out a few of them, and if I do this guy right here, because range is 1, then he's gonna move,
So
move 2?
these
Or
guys
does he have to
are
move 2?
between the tombstones. So you
Okay.
cannot bounce those into each other, but you can knock them into the tombstones.
Yeah, I could either knock him into the tombstone or knock him into that.
Yeah.
But I can also knock this guy into that.
Yep.
So, if there's any overflow from hitting this guy,
Hmm.
he's still within 1 melee of me.
Yes, that is very good. So you hit him for straight damage, overflow within reach, and the push, you knock him into that guy. That way, this guy will still be dead, but that's still going to do 2 points of overflow. So yeah.
Well, he's gotta move 2, so is it 2 points per square he can't move?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So you could possibly kill all three of these with a forceful blows. That is a possibility,
Depending on how I draw.
depending how you draw. Yeah. So there's that
So
idea there. Anything
that
else?
would be my current plan for what I could do. Or I don't know, can I forceful blows that guy and move him back too?
You could. He would have cover from the corner. You would want to take a step to
Okay,
the
then
left.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
wanna do that because that's opportunity attacks from both of these guys.
yeah. You could
So,
spend one agility to disengage, to
yeah,
withdraw and move to the side, but yeah, probably sticking over here. That is a good trifecta. That should work.
what you got, Elias?
I was just gonna start working into the mausoleum. If you're gonna do that, I was gonna take one turn to at least get a few of these guys if I could. With the error of forgetting that these guys drop bone piles and I cannot shift into those with measured steps. But I still could use it nicely to get one or two. It's fine.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
we could
I
just take
didn't
a
plan on
turn.
moving away
Yeah,
from the thing, so,
we
um,
take a turn to clear up a few of these guys. Let that then hopefully get back together and then defend again, and then hopefully not have the necromancer casting oodles of spells at us.
yeah. So let me do the attack with here and see how that plays out.
Cool, cool.
I used 1 martial for oh, wait, I
Oh,
can't do that.
yeah, you used an attack of opportunity, so you can't do
Yeah,
your forceful
I forgot I
blows.
had the attack of opportunity. So I can only
Oh,
hit once.
yeah. Well, at the very least, you can make a strike.
Yeah. Let me make the strike and see if any overflow happens. You go with that one? Since we gotta change it up a little.
Yeah, I can actually just move towards you. I can hit this first guy and then keep moving towards you.
Okay, so let me hit him with a
Hmm.
strike.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 9 plus 5, 14, right?
Yeah. So we will go ahead and destroy that guy, and I'll go ahead and spend 2 doom for both of them to explode into bone shards, doing a total of 6 undefendable to you.
I thought they couldn't because they don't drop piles.
So the bone shards is their defense style. That's just something that they can do when they're damaged. The bone piles is them falling down, being difficult terrain.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of like you guys knowing your own sheets. Then every time we play, I introduce new weird mechanics for new weird monsters. So like, it's always valid questions.
Okay. I still have 2 potential. You want to do something on your end?
Sure. I will shift in, and I will spend a martial momentum, my only one at the moment, and then 2 of my coins
Two of your
into.
coins. I
Oh yeah,
love this.
I've
Yeah,
got dice over here. I've got tokens.
just for keeping track. Yeah, no, this is meant to be an in-person like poker table game, so I
Yeah.
love it.
So I'm gonna strike to the guy ahead of, north of me
Hmm.
first. He'll be my target, and I will do a draw 3. I'm gonna use my fight through it because I'm just getting the bonus, getting the upgrade on that one. Ooh, do we get a sundering strike? Let's do that instead. That costs the same. Target gains guard break 1 and draw 2, and I've still got the plus 1 draw, so I'm still getting the same bonus, except for I get the guard break rather than the reduce a negative condition. So sundering strike.
Yep, which means it takes me an additional doom to defend, which means I
Mhm.
physically cannot defend. You do not need an ace right now, because in order for me to defend, I would need 2 doom, and I only have 1. You are saying that no matter what, I don't get to defend.
So we're gonna do a draw 3. Lol.
Okay.
That's 15 with a hammer.
So that goes up to 19, and that is enough to take out all of them around
20?
you. 20. Sorry, yeah, 20. That's enough to take all of them out around you. I will spend my one last doom that I have for them to explode. Only one of them explodes for the bone shards, 3 undefendable piercing.
All right. Taken. Um,
And each of these guys does drop into a bone pile.
well, I shot myself in the foot there by killing all of them because now I have nobody to strike to get my next shift.
Because you shifted before. Yeah. So
Yep.
unfortunate.
But I got all 3 of them with the 1 strike.
Technically, you get to choose to overflow damage. So you would know that you have enough to kill the first. Do you want to overflow? You overflow to the next. You
That was my
overflow to the
intention.
next.
It was my intention.
Okay. So
Just do damage.
yeah.
And I swung a little hard and lost my footing.
Cool. Yeah. The fact that you have the raised crypts and then the bone piles makes the shifting not possible. But in a different situation, it would be very important to do one at a time so you could.
When I first said it like
Yeah.
5 minutes ago, I had a line of like, oh, I can hit that guy and then that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just went and swang hard. So I have 2 points left. And I think I'm going to use 1 skill, and I'm gonna ready up to protect myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I am gonna stay put because I need that last one just in case they come and whack me.
Which they likely will. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That'll do it.
Cool. I love that we've talked about what's it going to be like when we actually have a champion doing damage, and we're seeing how effective the champion is when he isn't even using the weapon that his weapon style is meant for. Like the fact that you can adapt to, no, this weapon is better, and you're not like stuck in the, well, I took great weapon master, or so I can't do this, or I took weapon focus, weapon specialization, like all these things. Like the fact that fighting styles matter, but if the situation says no, use something else, it's totally viable. I love it. Sorry, I'm geeking out over my own game mechanics. Anyways, Hal, you still have 2 potential available, right?
I do. I think what will probably be best is possibly, tell me what you think about this, Elias. I move here, spending an agility. That way, well, for one, that that thing that all these guys can do with their scream or whatever, I
Oh,
don't like that.
yeah.
They can kind of get out of their line of sight for that, and then Um, yeah, I could pop in there, and I still have a potential, but I probably just put it into willpower as a momentum. Or no, because I spent 2 martial, I can't put it into martial as momentum, correct?
Correct. Yes. You
Okay.
are, when you store momentum, you are using that particular capacity. So,
Okay. Any objections to that?
No, it sounds good.
Okay. So 1 agility, move
one,
there.
2, 3. Technically, you could tuck
Yep.
into the corner if you wanted to.
Uh, I mean, that would actually probably be better. But it would give them an ability to get in and sort of flank Elias. So,
Possibly, yes.
um, I think I'll just. I mean, they can still flank us either way from outside. I'm gonna protect myself from being flanked. It's a possibility. I think that's a good idea. Um, and throw that momentum into or potential into momentum willpower.
Okay. So, what determines what weapons you can use? Sorry, I currently have my chat off to the side. I don't know how long ago you sent that.
Like
Uh,
8 seconds.
cool, cool. Yeah, so nothing really. Anyone can use whatever weapon they want. The fighting styles determine which weapons you're better at, but there isn't any. I'm playing a wizard, so I can only use simple weapons. This is, yeah, it's very much a, well, what weapons do you want to use? And then, yeah, you just use the weapons you want to use. And if you find out you're going to be fighting skeletons, like, hey guys, who has hammers? Who has morning stars? Who has shovels? Yeah. Cool, cool. With that, we go to our rib rattlers. I think one of them has a view on Elias. The others are gonna have to move in though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because of the difficult terrain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to move in, and they're going
Does
to,
that guy cover? So we can't attack him?
yeah. So they're going to move in. In total, some of them can get some decent shots, not all of them. The one that has a decent shot is going to use its splintered shaft. You're going to have half cover. So you're going to have essentially 10 free defense. And then the rest are going to be adding in, all attacking you. So they're going to get a bunch all added together, but you get a free plus 10. Being a unit makes them easier to overcome the cover, but it's still not guaranteed. So we will draw 1, and then each additional archer will give a +2. So this is going to be draw 1 plus 8. Hey, Elias, that's 11 incoming damage from the entire
Oh
valley.
boy.
Now,
I
11
have
minus 10 because of the cover.
yeah.
So that's 1 point of damage incoming
Okay, taken.
as you just take it to your stamina.
Yeah, I whack my shoulder on the wall as I get out of the way.
From there, we will go to our Bone Clacker Battalion. Our little ones are going to move in outside. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So the re-risen ones outside have moved in, blocking the door. And then the others will move in for ease. First, we will drop these to the back and make them smaller. That way the overlap is less of an issue. But those squares are still difficult terrain. So, bop, 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 bop. And then this guy will clamber over the top. As they move in, they are going to be in position for, we'll do these 2 attacking Hal, and the other 4, in order to get a flanking attack. I get 0 flanking. So all of them had to move, which means none of them can use their maneuver, which is a draw damage, their knuckle and joint. So all of them are just going to be doing the basic melee strikes. So flanking does nothing for them this turn. So that's going to be 2 attacks on Hal, 4 attacks on Elias, and each of them is for 1 slashing. So Hal, that's 2 incoming damage, and Elias, that is 4 incoming damage.
I will defend.
Okay. What's that look like?
I'm getting ready to swing my hammer in a circle and hit lots of them, but I have to do a wind up first.
You have to do a wind up first.
And that
Okay.
wind up has a little bit of a defensive capability.
Okay. And then Hal, you're just taking the 2 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably really itching to take some body damage soon, aren't you? This is gonna be bad for me. Okay. And that's all of the Bone Clacker's turns. Had I saved a Doom, I probably could have used the Clacking March to move them in, and then they could do their big attack. But I didn't save myself any Doom, so sucks to be me. That is going to be the end of the round. We go to the beginning of the next round. I gain 3 Doom. Each of you gain your 4 potential. Each of you gain your core capacity momentum. So Elias, you get a martial momentum. Hal, you get a defense momentum. And our necromancer gets to go first. I did not plan this out well. My necromancer does not have a lot they can do. So
I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping that guy was gonna hit me too.
yeah. Unfortunately, with the corner, it made more sense for him to hit Elias. Yeah, she can't get in for melee. So what she is... Oh, this is going to be really bad. Okay. Hey, guys. I'm going to do an Army of the Dead. This costs me 1 Arcana, and all of my guys that can attack will attack. It makes sense to start with the Bone Clackers. Elias, you have another 4 damage incoming. And Hal, you have 2 damage incoming. So,
Are there arrows coming too?
not yet. We'll see if the arrows are even an option.
Okay. I'm going to defend that, unfortunately, for myself.
And you would defend them based off of the groups. So you
Yes.
would defend from the Bone Clackers and then defend from free strikes from the Rib Rattlers. So,
Yep.
Elias, you said you defend that?
Yeah.
And you're just going to use one of your potential for the round to do so, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. So you take nothing. And then Hal, 2 damage at you. What happens?
Al got mad again.
So because this is just damage to the ones you're entering in, this does not overflow like the attacks do.
Okay.
But still, depending how you route this may be worth 3 or 4 kills. I guess 3 kills since you only have a movement of 4.
We'll see what happens, because I'm gonna do my first one right here. Moving 1, so that's gonna take 5 undefendable.
Oh, that's not the one I thought you were going for. Okay. Well, once you move, I will do
I'll
that.
move him out of the way so you can do what
Yeah.
you need to do with him.
Yeah.
So
we will take out that guy, and he will break apart into a pile of bones.
Okay.
Oh, you cannot target him.
Why not?
That square already has a bone pile in it, making it difficult terrain, and you cannot shift into difficult terrain.
Oh.
So, oh no!
I guess I can't technically go anywhere.
Oh no! This feels bad.
Wait.
I think Dreadnought should have a thing saying that it doesn't care about difficult terrain. You are literally a bulldozer. I'm going to make that as a note and continue with what you wanted to do, sir.
Okay. um, so still do the dreadnought thing?
Yes, still do it.
Okay.
We have found a
So
moment where it feels so bad that we're not waiting for afterwards to change the rule. We're changing it now.
that's first move, like move one, and then next move is gonna go down to this guy.
Okay, and that will just destroy him. He has already been risen, so he
Okay.
does not drop a bone pile.
And then so that's 2, and then we'll go 3 to this guy.
Okay.
So
he is going to collapse into a bone pile.
well, oh yeah, that was the one from inside, right? Or no, he was the one from outside.
Huh.
He
For
was
what?
already a bone pile. Because he came from right here, didn't he?
Correct. I don't know why he
Yeah.
doesn't have a skull, but yeah, he should be gone.
Okay. So that's 3, right?
You went 1, 2, 3. Yes, and because you have
Okay.
to end in an empty space, you
Correct.
cannot move another. But you just cleared out most of that room. That's really good.
Yeah. I was just gonna see if you were gonna use a doom to make a bone splinter.
No, I don't need to because now there's a valid target for my archers.
Well,
Um,
it's not their turn yet. It's
uh,
still the necromancer's turn.
and when the necromancer used army
Oh, that's
army
right.
of the dead,
Yeah.
we played out the first. You interrupted with a trigger. You are now out here, and so the archers can continue the army of the dead. And so the 2 adjacent to you can go ahead and make their melee strikes, and you're going to take 2 more blunt, which sucks for me. I don't know if this is what I expected when I designed Dreadnought. It may need to be fixed, but I love it right now.
Let's see. Yeah. I think the path that I'm thinking is gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4.
You can totally do that. And it's at this point that I realized that I decided 5 damage on Dreadnought before I lowered all the health. And so that might be why it's decimating minion groups, is because it was not adjusted for lower minion health. But once again,
Yep.
I'm not
Oh, I
upset.
can't.
We also
Oh yeah, that's
increased
right.
the range.
Hey, Hal, you're now adjacent to the 2 that couldn't make their strikes earlier. You take 2 more blunts and trigger Dreadnought again, I guess? This very clearly should be like, I should redo the Army of the Dead of like, if they can't make it at the beginning, they can't make it, but I don't know, I'm having fun. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you want to take 2 more damage from the
Is-
Army of the Dead, feel free.
This is feeling a lot like Genshin Impact, where there's just like constant trigger damage and like constant trigger effects.
And see, like, the triggers are very low in this game. All of the
Yeah.
triggers are in response to taking damage of a certain type, whether it's taking damage or taking damage that hurts your body. Like, it's all when you take blank damage or when someone provokes. Those are the only triggers in the game.
Mhm.
That way, you're not looking out for like, oh, they entered my reach, or oh, they're casting a spell, or they're using this type of like. All the triggers are flavor damage, as like, hey, how do you respond to taking this damage for the story? Oh, I go berserk and I crash through a bunch of them. Or, oh, this person's casting a spell next to you. This person's using a longbow next to you. They're provoking. They're standing up. Because standing up also provokes. And so those are the only 2 triggers. But clearly, they're enough. Yeah, so that was my Army of the Dead. I no longer have an Army of the Dead. That was her first potential. This is the necromancer's turn. This is her first potential. But that means she can get someplace to do more fun stuff. So she will spend her second potential to move. So she can move a total of 5 squares. She will move through the tombstones for 1, 2, 3, 4. As she moves there, she still has 2 potential left. And she is going to use, without spending potential, she's going to use a doom to dance macabre, rise this fella back up, and another one to rise this fella back up, and this fella back up. So that's going to be all 3 of her doom, all 3 of my doom. I have none left for the rest of the turn. And then she will use her final 2 potential to use her 2 Arcana melee strike ability. She has 3 Arcana, so 1 for Army of the Dead, another 2 for Life Transfusion. As her arm goes bone chill, she is going to reach out and make an attack at you. She has a feature called Perfect Coordination. And you know what? She didn't need to move there. You guys cool if I move back a moment? If she didn't need to get exactly there?
Yeah.
Hal, you cool with that? You can tell me no.
Sure.
Okay. So we're supposed to be testing tactical bonuses of them being boons instead of +1 draw. Well, unfortunately, she has an ability called Perfect Coordination. So when she gets a tactical bonus gained by flanking with one of her undead minions, she gains 2 boons instead of 1. So
Oh, dude.
as
the
she
hell?
as she moves up, her hand goes bone chill. The skin reads from it. She goes to attack you, and all of a sudden, a creature you thought you had already defeated jumps onto your back, like at your shoulders, begins pulling your arms wide as she can perfectly coordinate with her undead minion. So this is going to be draw 2 corruption, and then this will be draw 2 corruption, and we have a double boon. So any black cards earn a bonus draw. So draw 1, draw 2. Neither of them are black. So that's really good. But this is going to count for 20 incoming damage. And she triggers her fighting style, which is Grasp of the Long Dead. Bursting from the ground are going to be skeletal hands at your feet. You are going to be anchored 2. So anchored 2 is you cannot willingly move from your square. So where if you were just halted, someone else could physically move you. They could grab you and move you through the battlefield. Anchored is no, you are anchored to this location. Other people cannot move you. So 20 damage, anchored 2. And while anchored in this way, you are weakened. Weakened means that you have a bane on all damage draws, as she is going to siphon a life from you as she hits you, and then long dead from the ground grab into your ankles. You feel the chill through your Achilles heel as you begin to sink into the soil of the grave. So that's everything I have to throw at you. You still have the possibility to maybe defend that 20 and anchored 2. And that's 20 corruption damage.
Yeah, so she thought that's what she was going to do.
Uh-huh.
But what she failed to take into account is that I am a sanctified faith guardian.
Mm-hmm.
And I carried 3 defense momentum coming into this.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to spend all 3 of those plus a potential.
Which means you've dropped the damage to 0 and 0 anchored.
And 0 anchored. Yeah.
For your souped up cautious defender.
Yeah.
What does this look like as technically with the amount that you just spent? That's like 14, 28. That's 50. That's minus 56 damage. Last time we talked about needing to reduce the armor ratings. I haven't done that yet. So that's minus 56 damage and minus 2 negative incoming conditions. What is this moment?
Well, so Hal just kind of the one I thought was dead just leaps on my back, and she's getting ready to go with her cold hand, and I just kind of look at her and just side eye over the back, and my shield is still in my arm. I just kind of reach up and smack that one in the head and say, "Get off!" And then just kick those things out of the ground and go, "What?" Shoving her hand aside with my shield.
And so we have had our guardian play of the game early on with all of the defense momentum and healing you through it, Elias, in a few moments. And now we have the self guardian moment of just, I'm throwing everything at you and it doesn't stick. It does nothing. Okay. So that's everything. She did Army of the Dead. She moved. She did her life transference and got nothing from it. And the Army of the Dead got most of them killed. I'm smiling. I don't know if you can hear it in the voice, but I'm smiling. That is the end of her turn. And we go on to both of you with your shared initiative to figure out how you want to do stuff. And once again, I have no doom. I have nothing. Whatever you choose to do to me, I have to accept.
Well, first and foremost, I lose my protected.
Why do you lose it?
Just top my turn.
It does not go. Oh, does it go away? Is that a rule?
Just the condition decreases by 1 at the start of your turn.
Oh, that sucks.
That's fine. I put it up like for a reason, and I didn't need it. But Elias is still spinning, and he got real sad when all the enemies disappeared. So he started to slow down, but they started popping back up. So he started spinning faster again. We're gonna hit that steel hurricane.
Oh no, our
Be-
first steel hurricane.
Before you hit that steel hurricane, would you like me to just tell you to hold the line right there?
It's up to you.
I mean, that way you can have 7 stamina come back in case.
I have no doom
case
for a
He has
bone
no
shot.
doom.
He has no doom. Never mind.
Yeah, so that would be an awesome that's the perfect way to play it if I had doom. But because I don't have doom, save the potential for maybe something else. So
Well, here's the thing. Do you have any martial? Can you
Uh-huh.
whack this girl?
Yeah.
Okay. This is gonna be all of this is gonna be the like this is gonna consume all of my current economy to do this. And it might not be I'm wielding a hammer. If I hit any of these guys, we just have to do the steel hurricane. We have to do it just to do it.
yeah, we have to play
Sundering
through it.
Sundering Strike might have been a better choice, but
I don't think
yeah,
so. Maybe.
well, because I've got overflow, and if I do draw 3 twice,
Yeah, but
or,
if you do
or that'd be a
that,
draw. It'd be a draw 2.
you only attack one of them. And so you
Yeah.
only get the bonus for the vulnerability to bludgeoning once.
Ooh,
The steel hurricane, you're getting the +5 for bludgeoning on every single one.
All right, we will start with the guy on the right.
The guy on the
Good sake.
right.
Considering my destructive path killed them with 5 each.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Maybe we need to look at the numbers. Oh, 1 undefendable damage. +5 because you're using bludgeoning against a skeleton. Dead. And you have 1 overflow. Yeah.
Oh, I guess.
All of
So
this
here's the point where it starts mattering.
Mhm.
If I don't need to burn through 5 cards.
If you don't need to burn through 5 cards, that's even better.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay, so there was a 4 on the second.
and where do you want to throw that?
I'm going counterclockwise. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're going counterclockwise. Okay. So if you did the overflow to the north, he'd be at 3 health. Another 9 damage kills him, and you have 6 overflow. Where would you like the overflow, or to not do anything with it?
Continue counterclockwise.
Okay, the 6 overflow kills that dude.
Are we doing double overflow?
Yeah,
It's
if it
it's so long
continues.
as it's in
So
range.
you have 2 more overflow to put somewhere because it's in range.
Yeah, keep going. And
Okay.
that 6 would have been the third strike.
Cool, cool.
Uh,
So that's 11, and that'll take out that guy too, and that'll be 9 overflow to the bottom, and he just explodes. And you
oh, I
are out of those within reach. So with 3 draws, you have ba 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 ba.
well, 4 draws because I got a card in my hand that I clicked it and I'm like, "Oh, no."
Well, here's the thing. I guess this is something you should have decided ahead of time, but we're learning. Friendly game. Were you intending to move, or were you going to do measured steps this turn?
I did not think those 2 things worked together.
What does measured steps say? Uh, While you're still under the effect of this ability, you may shift 1 before or after every strike or martial maneuver. Steel Hurricane
Oh.
says, make a strike.
Target
So
adjacent to you? Okay. Oh, so it's you can't okay, I thought it kinda just felt like a stationary ability.
it's supposed to be. It's
That's
a
an interesting combination.
it's supposed to be stationary, but
Okay,
measured steps makes it so you can take a shift between every attack, every
because
strike. So
they're just strikes on the Steel Hurricane.
because they're just strikes, you don't get to do any upgrades, any special abilities.
Uh-huh.
So after that last one you killed, you could then take a shift and step 1 step closer to the necromancer, and then make a strike on them with that card you just drew.
Um,
There you go.
feels weird to do that, but I guess it's kind of how it's written on my character sheet.
That's how it's written. And so it's like 3.5 the 5-foot step. You just get you get to, take a 5-foot step. So you can move closer and then use that 3 that you've already spent the potential for on the Steel Hurricane.
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Because
So
I don't think you can move there because it's difficult terrain, but you could
That
move
one's not,
to this one.
but it doesn't matter too much, I
yeah,
don't think.
so you kill a skeleton and you shift afterwards. And now your Steel Hurricane is still up, so you can make another strike at her and then shift
Okay.
again.
Uh, oh, I guess that's how yeah, that's some very interesting
Mm.
battlefield. Oh, I can keep going. What the hell?
So we've always been talking about you being the champion, the champion, the champion is the archetype.
Yeah.
Both measured steps and Steel Hurricane are features that you specifically get from the Weapon Master pathway.
I
You
had
are
that pulled up.
supposed to be the best fighter this game has to offer. When it comes to weapons and fighting in melee combat, you are supposed to be the best.
So I'm what I'm hearing is I can draw one more time.
Yeah, so you hit her for the 3, and then you can draw once more on that Skelly as well.
For 13.
For a 13, and yeah. So he
So
is exploded.
here's the question: if he shifted back to there, would she be adjacent to him again and hit her, or
So that is a great
only
question.
once?
It should be only once, which is something I should go into the rules and make sure is clear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
write that down. Kinda like Steel Wind Strike or something.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that I was pointing that part out because it doesn't technically say once, but because
Yeah.
if you keep shifting, you
Yeah.
could just go around in a circle.
Yeah, so no, that because it's intended to be stationary and just attack the people around you, but then the measured steps creates this loophole. Yeah, no, having that in Steel Hurricane makes a lot of sense. Guys, we're test playing.
I missed the wizard.
You missed
But
the
this is real
wizard.
fun. I enjoyed like the AoE aspect of it, but we got a combat finish. We can talk about that later.
Okay, yeah, cool. Oh, the fact that you're wrecking shop with the fighter and with the like, hey, I don't know if I'd like to play a wizard or not coming from Druid's Flame. Like the fact that you miss the wizard may not be for everyone, but if you miss it, like awesome. That means it's worth going back to. Anyways, that was your steel hurricane. That was a bunch of your turn. Is there anything else, Elias?
I have literally nothing I can do.
Literally nothing you can do. Okay.
He spent all of his stuff.
Okay. How? Do you have anything? I
All
think you
right.
have your entire turn.
Yeah. Well, because I used one potential for that defense when she was trying to hit me. I only have 3 potential left. So I am going to throw 2 of them into Marshall because I have not put anything in there yet.
Cool, cool.
And I'm going to do forceful blows with my shield. Now, the question is, if I'm pushing her 2, is that difficult terrain and she can't move through, or I forget how difficult terrain push moves works.
So yeah, she can be pushed into that. You're good.
Okay. But if I'm pushing her 2, I can do that, right?
You can and
Okay.
bump her for a little bit of damage.
Yeah. Every little bit helps.
Yeah,
'Cause
so that would be
I
bumping
can't
into like
push
a
her
waist high
2 this
wall.
way, can I?
That way you could, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
every square is further away from you. So
Yeah.
that essentially be another 4 points of damage as you thrust her into the tombstones.
Yeah, I didn't know if the tombstones were destructible, but yeah,
They could be.
we'll go for that.
On our little battle reference sheet, they would fall under a solid object smaller than their size. Examples: a waist-high wall or stone bench. That's where I would put the tombstones. Actually, for your information, so the way that would work is they take 2 damage per square, and the remaining is halved. So she would unfortunately not have enough to continue on. If
Right.
you wait, okay, so if you pushed her this way, that would be impact for 1. The remaining is 1. That gets half. Yeah. So she would take the 4 damage, but she would not tumble over. If you pushed her
She's
for
not going
4,
anywhere.
she could actually tumble over to the other side. But
Okay.
this will just do 4 bonus damage.
That's actually all I was really looking for. I
Okay.
wasn't trying to push her away from me. I just thought it'd be kind of funny to do some extra damage like that.
Yeah, no problem.
Um,
Oh crap.
so bummer. I guess that's an 8, right? So it's
So that
9
is
undefendable.
9 undefendable. You gain a defense momentum. And then another 4 from being thrown into the tombstone. So that's a total of 13 damage that she can do nothing about. So that'll drop her stamina to 0.
Okay.
She is going to impact into the stone. She folds over it. She like pushes up on the stone. You see that those bony, necroted hands scrape across the grave. Closer to the grave than ever. When the necromancer becomes winded, I gain PC number of doom. That is her defense style kicking in, closer to the grave. So you have done a chunk of damage to her. She is winded. She's taken some body damage. Anything else, Hal, as you have gained your defense momentum for your sword and board style?
Well, I have 1 potential left, and I have a momentum in wisdom or willpower.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to look over at Elias and say, hold the line.
Okay, Elias, you refresh your stamina and gain a defense momentum.
Woohoo!
Okay, end of turn.
End of turn for me. I think
Okay.
Elias was done too. So
With that, we go on to villain phase 2. And as she kind of pulls herself up from the tomb, looking ever closer to the grave, thank you for coming out and playing. I will use my my optional 1 doom action during villain phase 2, and I will spend those 2 doom I just got to raise 2 more of the bone piles. So we will pop the one up by Elias.
This is how a necromancer's supposed to work, man. This is great.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I wrote all of these mechanics last night. I have
good.
improvised my way through a necromancer for an in-person test play. but this is a combination of the new math of monster of minion groups with some stuff that I previous wrote for the skeleton bone clackers and rib rattlers. But that just taking some of those improvised ideas from months and months ago and like, okay, let's write a necromancer last night. And like, okay, we'll add in the fact that they drop bone piles. We'll add in the fact that that's difficult terrain. And then the necromancer can re-raise them in the second phase of the battle. So I'm glad you're enjoying the concept. So yeah, that's Dance Macabre as a Doom action during Villain Phase 2. I have no Rib Rattlers left, but then I go into Villain Phase 3, and all of a sudden, I have Bone Clackers again.
Oh, damn. Oh, no.
And so this Bone Clacker is going to come out here, and he's going to provide flanking on Elias, and the other one doesn't have to move. So the one that doesn't have to move is going to get to make his knuckle and joint attack. Because he's flanking, he has a boon as we are testing. So if I draw a club, he is going to gain +1 draw. And because the other one still has a potential available, he will also throw in a free strike. So this is going to be draw 1 with a boon, +1 additional damage for the second minion. That is a club.
Mm.
That is a club. That is going to be 12. That's going to be 20 damage as in the back of Elias's head, the player thinks this is how necromancers are supposed to work.
Well, thank goodness Hal just gave me that defense momentum, because otherwise I would be rickety wrecked. So I
Because
will
that's
spend
how
that.
Guardians is supposed to work.
I will spend that defense momentum. So it was 20 total.
That is 20
Right.
total. Yes.
So I will reduce that by 12.
Okay.
So I'll take 8. I will take 8.
Cool. And that'll be the end of the Bone Clacker turn. We hit the end of the round. We go to the top of the round. You guys have no conditions on you. So you gain your core capacity momentum as income. You gain your 4 potential, and I gain my 3 doom. Okay. And I think we're closing pretty close into the ending. But for now, I have my Necromancer. And my Necromancer is going to... Oh, this is mean. Okay, my Necromancer is going to go ahead and we'll do Life Transference again. And I'm just going to spend 2 Arcana to do it. So this is going to be draw 2. And I unfortunately do not have tactical bonus, but that's the way it is. So we will draw 2, and they are going to use this on Elias. Your guard is already partially down. They tried to take advantage of it. This is going to be that's not undefendable. That's... Oh, for them it is, because I did not write them a differing ace mechanic. So that is going to be 5 undefendable damage, Elias. This is 5 undefendable corruption.
I have resistance.
What is your resistance?
I have resist 3.
So the 5 goes down to 2, and you had 2 stamina. Is that correct?
Yeah, I just marked it down.
The second part of life transfusion that I have missaid, but that has not come up yet, is the Necromancer regains body equal to the amount of body damage they deal. Your resistance against the unholy, the balance of the universe that is within your human form, prevents the Necromancer from doing enough damage to actually suck life from you. How do you only take 2 stamina and prevent them from using you to regenerate?
Oh, that tickles.
The offense. Okay. So that is going to be the 2 there. Their disengage is only 1. I wish it was more. They are going to provoke an attack of opportunity from Hal if you wish to use it, as they are going to move through their skeleton and to the north. So Hal,
Hmm.
Would you like to make an attack of opportunity for one marshal? It is a single draw, undefendable damage.
Um,
Or is it not worth screwing up your turn?
I want to think for just a second because
Mm-hmm.
because I only have two that I can use in Marvel, so
Yep.
I couldn't do anything else basically with that.
Yeah, you just have a basic attack.
I'm gonna I'm gonna let her move up there, I think.
Okay. As
Unless
you,
Elias wants me to take it.
Elias, what's your
No,
point
keep
of
it.
view? Okay, keep it. As you let her skink past, getting that's 3 squares of movement going through one of her allies. As she gets there, she begins to wave her arms out wide. You see this Disney lime green villain energy wrap out. She goes around the bone pile to the north, and it begins to levitate, and she begins to mutate it and place it across her body. She will spend 1 arcana to use Corpse Curus. So she will destroy an adjacent bone pile and regain 5 stamina.
That's pretty cool.
It's even cooler when you remember that whenever she's winded, she's closer to the grave and I gain doom.
Oh, because
Mhm,
it's the same.
mhm.
It's both at the same time. Oh, wait, is she's got stamina back, so she's not winded.
She's not winded.
Even though she has body damage, she's not
Mhm.
winded.
She's not winded because she has stamina. When your stamina is at 0, that is what makes you winded. So anything that triggers on winded very much benefits from just give me a few stamina. I don't need a bunch. Just give me a little and I'll trigger it again. Give me a little, I'll trigger it again. Okay. So she has done her attack for 2. She's moved for 1, and she has done a corpse curus for 1. That is the entirety of her potential. That's the end of her turn, and we go on to Elias and Hal. What's going on, you two?
I mean, you could probably use some stamina, right?
Yeah, but I kind of feel like, oh, you can't hit both the
I can
guys on the left and
yeah,
right of me at the same time.
He can. Bounce damage is what is in reach.
I mean, it is,
Ooh,
yeah.
They're
yeah.
both in reach of him.
But I can also hit and do that. Like I have 4 potential. So
Mhm.
it takes 2 to do hold the line, and then it takes 2 to hit.
If you can
So,
clear a path for me to her,
yep.
Oh, I love this.
As our turn starts, Al just turned over, looks at you, and I said, "Brother, hold the line."
I love how committed you are to the maneuver name. Like it doesn't always have to be said, but you are committed. It's like Warlock yelling Eldritch Blast. It's just what you do.
I
And then I am going to take those 2 potential, and I am going to throw them into Marshall,
Hmm.
and I am going to do forceful blows on that guy.
I hate this. You're gonna throw her minion into her. I hate this.
mean, she just did
Listen,
the same thing.
with the amount of tossing that happened last time.
Cool, 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 cool.
Boom.
That's not even.
Boom.
I can't defend this. I was gonna spend doom to defend this because I have it, and I can't even. It's not enough.
Take my defense momentum.
Ooh.
Uh,
Okay. So you're going to
uh,
throw them up into the necromancer, correct?
yes, their 2 movement would go this way.
Okay. So she's gonna take. I should not have put that there. She's going to take 4 damage as her skeleton explodes across her. She's down to a sliver of stamina. That is going to destroy your target. However, there's more than enough to bounce over to the guy on the opposite side. I take it you want to do that as well?
Yes, please.
Okay, as you do so, I will spend the 2 doom to cause both of those skeletons to explode into bone shards. That is 6 undefendable damage to each of you. Yes, Hal, I recognize that this means that there will be a dreadnought.
2, 3.
So she's going to take another 5. one of which goes to stamina. The other 4 go to her body. And as you trample over her in a crypt, she hits the ground, and then just black energy blasts her up from the ground. She is closer to the grave, and I will gain both of those doom right back. As closer to the grave, whenever she is winded, she gains PC number of doom.
So that could trigger multiple
But
times a turn.
also,
If she continues to be winded, not winded, winded, not winded, yeah.
now I'm flanking her.
Not yet. Elias has to move.
I mean, yeah,
But
if he
it's
moves
very
over.
simple for Elias to move as a weapon master. He doesn't have to spend any of his potential. He could just take measured steps, slow himself, and sidestep.
That feels really weird with the 2 people on a turn thing. 'Cause I
Well,
didn't say it at the very beginning. I was fully intending to spend an agility.
Well, I
no,
cleared a path for you.
that's part of you guys activating on the same turn.
Well,
That
measured
like
steps, I can use a maneuver. All right. Well, let's scoot on over. And big old fat sundered strike.
and with this, because you're flanking, we're testing out the tactical bonuses are a boon.
1, 2, 3, 4. Supposed to be 1 momentum and 3 potential. My max be a draw for guard break 1.
Guard break 1 means that if I want to defend, I have to spend 2 doom instead of 1.
Boom.
There's a club.
Oh, okay. So I drew the club. Is that like I've got a card in my fingers right now? Does that club count for this card in my hand, or does it go at the end?
It doesn't matter because any club is going to earn a bonus draw right now.
Oh, and it's
So
cumulative.
it's cumulative. Yeah. There's another club.
So there's my draw 4.
Okay.
So we're going up to draw 6.
One more club. Come on,
Uh-huh.
club. Oh.
What's the total?
So I see 20, 39.
39. In order to
Yeah.
defend, every time I wish to defend, I must spend 2 doom. I only have 3, which means I can defend a most of once. And her armor rating is 8. She has 27 body left. She also has a feature that says the last to go. Instead of dropping to 0 body, the necromancer may destroy 1 uncontrolled undead minion instead drop to 1. I saved that 1 minion to choose on her next turn whether she wanted the corpse cuirass or another minion. And her hesitation has led to her death. Elias, as Hal just storms through, you have the explosions of the bone shards, runs over her. She draws in power of the crypt, and you measured step to the side.
And as she's looking at him, Hal says, "How's it like to be held from the back?"
Elias, how do you take her out?
Now I presume that shield's like butted right up against her.
Mm-hmm.
I got this hammer. I'm trying to go steel to steel.
With that, the cuirass she made, her own ribs just explode outwards. This is a full-on Mortal Kombat fatality as the limbs go to the sides, the head hits the ground, and as she is just splattered everywhere, the parasol hits and just rotates, rocking in a little semicircle until it comes to a standstill. And that is going to be the end of our combat. And that is going to be the end of our current active play of this test play. How are you all feeling? Okay, so once again, we just cut the recording. We have an unlisted video down in the description of our discussion post-game. As we look at our starting page where I talked about everything that we wanted to test, you get a view of kind of how we were feeling based off of a bunch of check marks. We have some good things to say about the flat doom, but also like we'll be testing a different version of the converting momentum again in the future to see how that plays out, since we have some strong feelings that way. some good things about the phase battle, some hiccups in the middle where I got a doom spike and all that sort of stuff. Uh, a player having their turn skipped based off of the trigger and figuring out how we want to play with those things. So we discuss all of that in the post-game discussion if you're interested. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Joshua of Milestone Play. I'm a professional game master. Most of the recorded games I'm putting up are not the games that I know really well, which is not good for business, but I want to test play, and so might as well get a recording of it. Feel free and jump down in the description if you want to join the Discord. If you want to get the Patreon, there's the free 1.9.4 rules that our players have been interacting with. We have paid patrons can get the 1.9.5, and coming up in the beginning of June, the first Saturday of June, we should be releasing 1.9.6 as we just continue to tinker with stuff and hopefully have some new character sheets for you as well. Thanks for watching, and have a lovely